Guys, how are you?
Good,
Good.
Very
Wow.
fantastic now that you're here.
Well, there's always a very funny story about how the bands get together. So maybe there's a very good history behind how the band formed.
Well, three of us were actually friends before we were in the band. Me, Ryan, and Robert. We all were kind of playing music, like teen band. It was really just an excuse to get together and eat pizza. You know what I mean? And then when we kind of realized we wanted to take it seriously, we actually needed somebody who could play their instrument. So we had heard legends of Josh, who was a fantastic guitar player. And I remember he had a SoundCloud account where he did the guitar part on Bon Iver, Skinny Love. And we were like, yes, that guy. And so had to go to a party and find him.
And infiltrate.
And I asked him, has he ever heard the Stone Roses? And he was like, no. And then we just hijacked the PA at the party and just blasted I Want to Be Adored. And Josh was like, yeah, all right, I'll come around tomorrow. and that's how the band started, really. We stole them from another band.
Many bands start like doing covers and everything, or start jamming to start getting the songs together. So, which was your one of the favorite cover songs that you first tried to do like a band?
The first song we ever played on stage was
Without Josh.
The first song that
Probably because why it went.
it was terrible because Josh wasn't there. But also the three of us, the first song we played on stage in front of people was "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and
which was our favorite song at the time.
It was our favorite song at the time, but we haven't listened to it since because it just brings back bad memories. And looking back on it now, is like I don't know why no one told us to not play the biggest rock song ever. It shouldn't be played by 14-year-old kids who can't play their instrument. And then yeah, so that was the first song that we played. But we were learning loads of songs. We were learning like our favorite band songs like Pixies and Strokes, and Josh came along. We used to do a cover of Just Like Heaven, which we didn't butcher so bad to the point that we can't listen to it anymore. We used to cover loads of Bunny Men as well.
Love Will Tear Us Apart.
And Love Will Tear Us Apart. That was the big one that we used to do. I
guess that's kind of how we started learning how to write songs, was just by learning covers. And you got to start somewhere, So learning those songs really gave us like a kind of broader brush to paint with, I guess. I could be a killer, gonna get you whacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the back.
So when you start, jamming and everything, which was one of the first songs that you said, we have something here that we really identify with, and it sounds like us.
I think it's probably It Won't Always Be Like This, which is the title track of the album, which came about maybe in 2017. But that was the first song we kind of had that we were like, wow, okay, maybe there's something going on here. And it was the first kind of thing, like we made a music video for it and everything like that. And just in a shed, we just hung up a bunch of white sheets and we were making a music video for it. That was the first time where it was like, whoa, okay, we could probably do this. And funnily enough, that song has stuck around and it's the title track of the album. So it definitely says something about it, yeah.
It's interesting because every debut album, many will say that it's the first greatest hits album of the band because it gets together everything that you have made before we have noticed you. So how can you feel of getting together all these songs and see this album that reflect all these past 5 years?
Yeah, it's like a graduating school or something, It's like we have been working on this album for a long time, and it's a little nerve-wracking letting it go because you've had it under your wing for so long, but at the same time it's quite invigorating because it means that you have a blank slate for the next one. And I think that's always exciting, just the future. You know, but like we're really proud of this album, and it's kind of mad in the first place that we even have an album to put out, you know. So we're just extremely grateful that we're in the position that we're in, and hope that people like it.
I wonder how did you get together the songs? Many would just start with the bass rhythms, or just start with the lyrics. How does the composing part of Inhaler works?
It's kind of different every time.
Completely random.
Yeah, we can either be jamming an idea or just you know, jamming on one chord for hours and hours, or someone will write something on their computer, bring it in the next day, and then we build on from there. There isn't really one sort of process that we stick to. I think everyone's very good at contributing their own bits here and there, and yeah, we kind of end up naturally writing songs that we think could be written by any of our favorite groups. You know, I think that's what this record sounds like. I don't know what Inhaler as a band sounds like, 'cause to me it just sounds like all of my favorite bands, which makes Inhaler my favorite band.
Yeah, I have to tell you guys that, you know, Inhaler right now has this I don't know, the spark of innocence of the first band that they really values. You know, I didn't hear this from, I don't know, from the Block Party first album, or I don't know, but I think that you have this spark and you have to keep it this magic that it's happening right now, because it's really distinctive from you. You know, it's something that it won't always be like this. Because, you know, this is a moment when you're starting, and then you will start building, you know, different stories from this building called Inhaler.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's exciting. I think, you know, this is like, it feels like the end of an era for us putting this album out, because we have been working on it for so long, but at the same time, like, it's the beginning, really.
Yeah.
And I think we just, with the album, we wanted to experiment on it, and we wanted to kind of push ourselves. And I think on the second album, we're going to push ourselves even further if we can. And just exciting being in a band, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's not
as
bad.
we said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you played here in Mexico in 2019, before all this lockdown happened. So how was these first experiences of having gigs and festivals and show the music to the people?
Anyone want to take this one?
Yeah, it was like when we played the Corona Capital in 2019, it just blew our minds that we were like halfway across the world and there were 5,000 people singing back lyrics to songs we haven't even released. It was genuinely one of the best days, I think, of all of our lives. Yeah. And just honestly mind blowing and just humbling, to say the least. Like, it's unreal.
That was an incredible day. That whole Corona Capital Day was just like, except the Guadalajara airport. Oh yeah. Oh, man. We were late for our flight in Guadalajara, and we had to sprint through the airport to get on our next plane.
Yeah.
It was the worst reality check of all time, because we had just the best day ever the day previous. The next morning we were like, this is a disaster.
Totally blind, you are totally deaf.
You know, guys, many bands are using, you know, the social media to show, you know, different parts from the band, you know, from rehearsals and everything. And you're trying to do that. Are you trying to do more like this in social media for the people to know what's happening behind all the rehearsals and the tours? You're right. The tours starting in a few months. Are you using social media to do that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we don't have gigs to communicate with the fans, so I guess the only way to do it is by just taking Instagram and doing that and giving people a glimpse of what's going on. You know, like we're not like naturally good at Instagram or social media or anything like that. We just want to make music, and I think Instagram is a fantastic tool to keep in contact with your fans. You know, and we've definitely been trying to reveal a bit more.
You know, from this album, which range of things do you think you have, from the most soft song to the most hard song?
I suppose what I love is the idea that a song like Totally is on the same album as In My Sleep or something, because they're two very vastly different ideas all together. It's like again, they sound like they could be written by two different bands. But I don't know. What do you guys say? I love Who's Your Money On, as we all do. It's like that song is made up of two different songs merged together, and it works so perfectly in our minds. And you know, we've loved seeing how people have really accepted that song and accepted like that level of creativity that we wanted to get across to people, and show that we like don't want to be confined to just doing one thing that people are expecting of an indie rock band, you know. And I think that this album is far greater or far more than just another indie record to come out. I think it's a special one.
Mm-hmm. Imagine that you are in your last gigs album. Which thing would you like to accomplish, and you say we have to do this next?
We've always said Glastonbury is like a big one for us.
Yeah.
But we don't believe it's real. We think it's made up. And we don't believe it until we're invited there. So they have to invite us there, and then we'll believe it's real. We'll make it a big scandal. But yeah, Glastonbury is a big one. And then I think I guess more recently, it's kind of our values and our goals have changed into any gig now. It's just like we just want to get back on stage and play for anyone.
Yeah, we'll do birthdays and weddings as well.
Yeah.
Any gig, any opportunity to get in front of people.
Well, guys, thanks a lot for this interview, and we hope to see you again here in Mexico. You know, on the only show for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and you know, really enjoy this moment because it's not going to be repeated, and you're going to. But you have to capture this moment mentally, because you have to. In the future, when things were going to happen, you're going to wonder what things bring us together. And right now, the answer is right now in the air. You know.
Oh, man, that's lovely. Man. Thank you.
That's really lovely.
Hope to meet you one day in person, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We have to get out of the lockdown, but
I know.
I know, man.
First obstacle.
Yeah.
Trophy.